Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pic-Time webinars. My name is Lauren, and I'm one of Pic-Time's senior support agents. I will be your host today, and I am joined by Annemie Tonken. She designed the simple sales system with us, and I'm so excited for our webinar today. It's going to be a super, super fun conversation with Annemie. We are going to be talking about the simple sales system and how to integrate it into or integrate the slideshow feature into your workflow with the simple sales system. And then we're also going to be talking about how to use the slideshows for marketing. So a little bit of housekeeping, first of all. This meeting is going to be recorded, so you'll be able to watch the replay on YouTube at any point in time that you need to reference it later on. And then there is also, if you have any questions, there is a little Q&A chat button at the bottom of your screen. So you can ask any questions you want. We've got a couple support agents in the chat who will be able to help answer. And we may do a Q&A at the very end as well if you have any questions for me or Annemie regarding all of this. So we're hoping that this webinar will be about 45 minutes to an hour or so. And it's all about the slideshows and how to utilize them with the simple sales system. So if you're a portrait photographer and you're already using the simple sales system, or if you're a photographer who's wanting to add on portraits to your already existing business and want to learn a little bit more about the simple sales system, this is going to be a great webinar for you. I'm going to be going through quick demos of both the simple sales system and the slideshow creator. So you will be able to get a little brief overview of it. But if you want the extended version, you can also check out our YouTube channel because we have a full webinar on the simple sales system going super in depth with it with Annemie and a bunch of other photographers who use it. And we also have another webinar going in depth on the creation of the slideshow as well. So if you want to get the extended version of those, you can check that out on our YouTube channel. But for today, we're going to be talking about adding the slideshow creator tool into your workflow with the simple sales system, and you will be able to use it for marketing as well. So Annemie, can you give us a little quick intro to who you are and a little bit of a background to the simple sales system as well?
Sure. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I was like, oh, do I turn my camera on? Do I do this? Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for coming. My name is Annemie Tonken. I am a portrait photographer based in Chapel Hill, North Carolina in the States. And I've been in business for about 11 years now. And I also do a fair amount of education. I have a podcast called This Can't Be That Hard. And yeah, as Lauren said, Pic-Time and I came together 2.5 years ago, specifically because they were seeing the results that I was getting with my online sales due to this system that I had created. I used to do in-person sales for a long time. It got to the point where the workflow for in-person sales was kind of too much for me. I was running into a situation where I was just too busy because of the time expense of that. So the simple sales workflow and system really was designed to take the customer service and the profitability of in-person sales and kind of combine that into a semi-automated system that gives you the simplicity of all-inclusive sales. So now that is a large part of what I teach. I help other photographers learn how to set it up in their businesses. And now, because Pic-Time has an app that makes that completely automated, it has become more widely available and used by hundreds of people around the world.
Awesome. Yeah. The simple sales system is super cool. It's one of our top performing apps, and it's really great to help you raise that bottom line in terms of profits and things like that. And really quickly, how's everyone doing in the chat? Can you hear us all real fine? Let me know where everybody's from, where you're watching from right now. I'm here in Portland, Oregon right now, and it's a beautiful, balmy, sunny morning already. I'm sweating in the office here right now. So it's going to be a nice warm day. Oh, nice. Seattle, Denver. Oh, excellent. Portugal, Atlanta. Oh, I was in Atlanta last week. It was beautiful there. BC. Oh, hello, everybody. Oh, this is so exciting.
I always
How
find
fun.
it.
So neat. All around the world. Well, awesome. I'm so excited for us to get into this today. It's going to be really, really fantastic chat with Annemie. And just for a quick reminder, if you have any questions in the little chat, you'll want to make sure that you select it to all panelists and attendees as well. So other people will be able to see the questions and answers too. And there's a dedicated Q&A button as well if you want to leave a question. And again, we'll have a few support agents in the chat as well to help answer any questions. So yeah, I'm super excited to get into this. Annemie, how are you doing? You doing good?
I'm good, but my dogs are going crazy in the background. Somebody must be like delivering something outside. So I just put myself on mute for a minute.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, I will go ahead and just jump in and give us a quick demo of how the simple sales system looks in the Pic-Time system and how you can really briefly set it up. And then I'll go through my whole spiel of the slideshows and things like that. So I will go ahead and share my screen with everyone. Awesome, awesome. So this is one of Annemie's galleries. It's a really, really beautiful gallery. Annemie does great work. And this is what the gallery will look like to the client after they very first view the gallery when they click through the Simple Sales welcome email. So they'll come to their gallery and already they'll be able to see the slideshow scene of some really beautiful highlight images from their photo session. So this is a really great way to highlight some of your favorite photos as a photographer. And it's a really great way to build up some really nice emotion for the client as they're viewing their new gallery. And with the simple sales system, the client is introduced to the 3 package options. So when they view their gallery, they don't get access to all of the photos right away. So it feels like a really nice in-person sale. And they can view those slideshow or the highlight scene of images. And then with the simple sales system, there's this really great feature where you can have a quick preview phase where they can only see this highlight for a brief amount of time. And then when they purchase one of their 3 packages, the entire gallery will open up for them. They'll be able to get their download credit and they will be able to get the store credit as well to spend in the shop. So it's a really, really great way to raise your bottom line because, oftentimes a lot of clients will purchase, either this standard or this premium package. So it's a really great way to not only, get more money for you as a photographer, but also to really encourage your clients to print out their work as well. I talk all the time about how important it is to print out your work and to be able to hold your memories in your hands. So this is a really great way to increase the value for them and show them that it's really important to use that print credit and, actually purchase physical products. So I will go ahead and go into go for it, Annemie.
Sorry, I was just going to jump in to clarify a couple of things in case anybody who's listening is not familiar with the sort of overview of simple sales. And I probably should have said this before. But basically, the idea with simple sales is if you're doing an in-person sales session, you frequently will start out, that'll usually be the first time that your client is seeing their images. And really, one of the reasons that in-person sales is as profitable as it is because you're leveraging the power of impact where someone is seeing their images for the first time. So when somebody comes to your studio or when you go to their home and you're showing them those images for the first time, oftentimes what you'll do, and this is where the slideshow piece comes in, is that you will put their photos to music and sort of display them in a slideshow functionality as opposed to just a gallery where they're sort of going, like at the optometrist's office where it's like better 1, better 2, better 2, better 3 right from the beginning. So it's more experiential. It sort of plays on all of their senses. And with simple sales, the idea is that you are presenting them before they get access to their full gallery. They are seeing just a slideshow and they see that for a limited period of time. So I was doing that before Pic-Time built the app, but now that there's the app, as you can see on the window that Lauren is showing right now, what they get is they get access to that slideshow and then they're choosing their collections. They know what the collections are ahead of time, all that sort of stuff. But this is really that first impact. And I do recommend, as Lauren was pointing out, there is a short window of time. I recommend 24 hours. So they have time to see their slideshow several times. They have time to share it with family and friends, that sort of thing. But then they really are being asked to go ahead and make a decision before they get into that, like deep diving into the gallery piece.
Yeah, I always like to tell my clients to, wait to view the gallery and get a glass of wine or some tea or something really nice and make it a really fun experience when you are able to view those photos for the first time. Because with the slideshow, there's this really great emotional impact of just seeing your photos just automatically play through with the music. And it's just such a wonderful sensory experience and will really help encourage them to, purchase those larger packages as well. So I will show a brief demo on how to set up the Simple Sales System app in your Pic-Time account. So what you'll do is you'll go to the Sales and Automation section, and in the Automations tab, you can just add a new app. And you'll be able to add the Simple Sales System app. And really the intention behind the apps is that you'll be able to set this up once and you can sort of automate and individualize all of the emails and the marketing sort of aspect of it. And once you set it up for the first time, then you're able to just sort of reuse the app on all of your projects as you come to them. So it's a really, really great way to save you time in the long run so that you don't have to, manually email people every single time you send out a project. So in the Simple Sales System editor here, again, I won't go through the super detailed version of this, but if you want a more in-depth version, you can check out the webinar on our YouTube as well. But with the Simple Sales System, you can set up the display for the 3 packages in the gallery itself, and how it will look to the client on that screen before. And you can set up the actual parameters for each package here. So you can set the included number of high-res downloads that the client will receive, as well as the amount of store credit that they will receive with the discount. And you can also set the email communication for each package after they purchase it. And, I won't get into all of the details of this, but one of my favorite things about all of the Simple Sales System apps is this dynamic text option. And these text tokens are really great because it will autofill with whatever the appropriate information is. So it's really great to be able to automate things, but still keep it nice and individual. So for example, you can greet all of your clients with the client's first name without actually having to manually type it out every time you send it out. So your clients really feel like they're being well taken care of. I'm definitely not a very salesy photographer. Usually I hate pushing sales on clients, but this way it makes it really nice and personable to them. And they feel like they're being really well taken care of. So you can set up all of the parameters for what the client will receive, as well as the email communication for all of the 3 packages. And we also recently added an option for the client to be able to upgrade their package. So if your client chooses to purchase maybe like the basic or the standard package, but they decide later on, oh, maybe I actually wanted that premium package, they now have the option to upgrade it in the shop as well. So again, you can set up how the 3 packages will display in the shop. You can set the additional amount of store credit that the client will receive after they purchase the package upgrade. And then you can also set the email communication for after they purchase that upgrade as well. And you can also, of course, toggle this phase on or off if you don't want to do the package upgrades too. And then the sort of next step in setting up this app is the package campaign setup. So this is kind of the overall settings of the app, I would say. So you can set the welcome email, and this is what the client will receive when you first share the gallery with them. So one of the really neat things about this app is that you'll notice that there's this gallery preview duration, and you can set it to however many days you want, really, but in general, we suggest doing, 1, maybe 2 days, so that the client just has a really brief window of opportunity to see those preview images before they actually purchase the package. And one of the neat things is that this preview duration won't begin until they actually click through the welcome email that they receive. So they can start the countdown on their own time. So it's really great, again, to encourage the client to make it a really special event for when they view the gallery for the first time. So with the package campaign setup, you can set their welcome email inviting them to the gallery. You can also send them a reminder email if for some reason they haven't clicked through that welcome email yet. You can set the preview duration, which is the amount of time that the client can view the gallery and that slideshow before they have to purchase the package. And then again, you can set the gallery expiration phase, and you can set it to kind of wherever you want it to be. And you'll set the price list that the client will be able to purchase from after they select one of those packages. And then you can also set your watermark settings for the gallery as well. So you can choose to have the watermark display before the client purchases one of those packages. And then if they purchase a package, you can choose to hide the watermark after they purchase one of the packages. And then we've also added this additional reminder email phase as well. So if for some reason the client hasn't downloaded their photos or hasn't used all of their stored credit yet, you can send them a nice little check-in email just to give them a gentle reminder to use that store credit, because again, we want people to be able to purchase the physical prints and products so that they can hold their memories in their hands. And the final step with this app and all of the apps is you can leave an internal note to yourself. So I always like to put, either the discount type, if any emails are being sent, and any other really important details about the app so that I can know, what is going to be happening with the app before I assign it to the project. But you can really leave yourself any note to yourself if you want. And then you'll just click done editing and the app will be sort of waiting and ready to go. And to assign the app to your projects, for that, you can just come over here to your project itself, and you'll assign the app under the Automations and Discounts tab. You'll see we've already got the app added here right now. But with the slideshow feature, you'll want to design the slideshow before you actually add the app to your project. So we'll go ahead and get into a brief slideshow demo on how to set it up and design it and things like that. One of the really neat things that we've just recently added to the galleries, I think even today actually, is this really fun duplicate slideshow option. So if you click the 3 dots next to the slideshow in the Photos tab of the project, you can click Duplicate Slideshow, and you'll be able to bring up this formatting screen again. So you can actually create a copy of your horizontal slideshow as a vertical slideshow to reuse for social media or anything like that. Or even sell it to your clients as a sort of social media sharing option. But we'll go ahead and get into editing this slideshow right here. And again, I'll just give a super brief overview of some of the fun features of the slideshow. The first one being we have this really great music library that we're always adding music to. I'm not even sure how many songs we're at now, but there's a bunch of songs that you can choose from. You can search for via different characteristics and parameters, and there's also some playlists that we've set up that you can look through as well. And you can also even have your own favorites list of music too, so you can mark photos as, or mark the songs as favorites as well. And we have this really neat beat matching feature, so you can match the transition of the slideshows to the beat of your song. So we've got this little match song function right here, and you can see, it will give us the number of slides that we need to add to match the beat of the song at the song's length. Now, one of the other really neat things about the slideshow feature is that if your slides don't fit the full length of the song, as you can see here, technically we need to add 100 slides to fit the full length of this song. But one of the neat things is that if you don't have enough slides to fit the length of your song, the song will actually just fade out at the end, and this will end up just being a 33-second slideshow. So the beat matching will still work even if you don't have 100 slides or whatever. And we've also even added an additional beat matching option. So now we've got slow beat match, a normal beat match, and then a fast beat match for those slide transitions. And of course, you can also choose some manual speeds as well, or you can fit all of the slides to the length of the song. And with all of the slides, you can, change the layout of the slideshows. For example, we've got this really great one that displays 2 photos, and you can also change the background color of the slides and do a bunch of different design options with this. You can also even upload your own photos if you want, so you can add some custom graphics. If you're wanting to do maybe like a portfolio slideshow, you can upload images from other photo sessions to create a really great sort of general slideshow of all of your recent work. And one of my favorite things about the slideshow is the option to purchase and download the slideshow. So you're able to create another option for your clients to be able to preserve their memories kind of in the digital format with this slideshow, and then also give yourself an option to raise your bottom line again and give them some purchasing options. So this is where you would set up all of the downloading options for that as well. And you can also choose to have a watermark display on your slideshow as well too. And again, you can watch the webinar for the full details on how to design the slideshow. So in terms of the simple sales system, after we've created our slideshow, then we can go here to our automations and discounts tab. We'll add the simple sales system app, and then it will proceed from there, and the client will be able to see the slides and be really inspired by everything that they're seeing in the gallery. And one of the really neat things, like I mentioned before, is the vertical slideshow option. So Annemie has this really great little slideshow here on her Instagram already, showing the vertical aspect of the slideshow. So we've seen, it's been so fun watching everybody's slideshows on Instagram, seeing how everybody's doing it in really creative ways. So it's a really, really great, powerful tool for you as a photographer with the simple sales system, and also to utilize for marketing purposes as well. So that's kind of the brief gist of the slideshow feature. It's really fun, really great. Clients love it, photographers love it. It's fantastic. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of the demo feature of the slideshow. But for Annemie, I have just a couple questions for you if you want to answer all of my questions.
Sure.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Right. I was going to say, I have just enjoyed watching you do this, and I just had a couple of things to add. I feel like I've been using slideshows forever. I've used several different slideshow building tools. They are extremely powerful no matter how you're making them. If you're just making them in Lightroom and exporting them to YouTube, you can still, have a really great thing. What I love about the fact that Pic-Time has now made this sort of under the same umbrella is that it becomes not only that much easier. So you're uploading your images to one place and you can sort of multi-purpose. It's your gallery, it's your slideshow, et cetera. But now, this ability to download in multiple formats, to share in multiple places, to automatically put it in the store so that, if that's the first introduction that your client has to their images, they're going to get emotionally attached to that slideshow. They want to share it. They want to have it. And so I photograph mostly families. Let's say that I'm, photographing a newborn. Those parents are going to want to have that slideshow so that on their kid's first birthday and 5th birthday and 25th birthday, they can go back and watch that. And it sort of like brings out, all those same emotions and feelings. So now being able to put that all into one very streamlined workflow, potentially upsell, you had said like put it in the store for simple sales. And I'm seeing a lot of questions in the Q&A about pricing for collections and things like that. As Lauren said, we did a whole Pic-Time specific webinar on simple sales several months ago. I think it was January.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have just like a masterclass that lives on my website, which is this can'tbethathard.com, where you can go and sort of learn all the nuts and bolts of the system. But the way that that then can be repurposed to help drive sales to that top collection, so potentially including the slideshow in the top collection, or if that doesn't work for your brand, or if you're already selling your top collection all the time, like why add that to the top collection? Instead, you put that in the store. Someone can use their print credit toward that slideshow, which is a zero cost product for you, just like selling a digital file. So that increases your bottom line by, that much, while still delivering great value to your clients.
Yeah, I love the purchasing option. It's so fantastic. And yeah, I love that idea of people being able to watch the slideshow, 25 years into the future. I feel like we do that, even nowadays with, those wedding videos too. So it's such a really great additional feature to the client experience. It was probably about 2 years ago or so where I was introduced to the concept of slideshows and giving slideshows to clients. And at first I was like, why would you waste your time, so to speak, in doing that? But in learning about really the emotional impact of it, it's really like such a powerful tool, and it's so integral to the client experience. And that's why we really wanted to create the slideshow creator in the Pic-Time system, so that because it's such an important part of the client experience, and it's such a powerful tool for you to be able to raise your bottom line and give them a really unique experience that not a lot of photographers are giving to their clients, and it will really elevate your photography business. In terms of designing the slideshow for maximum impact, what sort of design or slideshow lengths, what would you recommend in terms of creating the slideshow, Annemie?
So the way that I have always done it, and my students will know, of course, as a portrait photographer, I am usually not delivering hundreds of photos. I'm usually delivering like 60-ish photos for a session. So I actually recommend that all of the images are included in that slideshow. Now, there's a lot of permutations to that, and I don't mean that to be like if you're delivering a slideshow, it has to have all the images in it. But for simple sales specifically, because that's typically all they're seeing before they make a purchase decision, I like to give my client kind of all the information that they need to make that decision. So I do include all of the images, and I love beat matching. I think that it really takes it from like that level of production value that, I mean, in theory, a client could create for themselves. They just like auto advance images and put a song on top. That beat matching really makes it feel more professional. It looks more professional. So I love that Pic-Time included that in the software. I use it. What I do oftentimes, especially if I'm faced with like a giant library of music and I'm not familiar with it, I will actually look at how many images I have to share with my client, and I'll go in and select music. I love the categories, where it's like chill vibes or whatever, like silly names they come up with for them. But I'll try and find something that's appropriate for my clients and for kind of the nature of the session. And then I'll go in and I'll look for songs that will beat match with either exactly the right number of images or a few extra. So if I have, let's say I have 70 images to share, I'll look for something between 70 and 80. And if it's 72 or 73, when I go in to edit the slideshow, I can very easily just duplicate a couple of my favorite images to get to that number. So it's like 76. I'll duplicate 6 of those 70 that are my favorites, and that will make it so that it sort of rests longer on those images. So very quickly, I have my my set of photos. I get it to the right number for the beat matching. I find a song that works right for this client, and I can get a slideshow done inside of 15 minutes, no problem. As far as other things to consider, there are, different songs, and This is a new feature for Pic-Time. So they're still working out a couple of little kinks with the beat matching thing where, and this is true for all software, sometimes you get a song where there's a fast part and all of a sudden the photos will be like boom, 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 boom. I try and avoid that. So if I find that a song, I do preview the whole slideshow every time. And if I find that a song has one of those, I'll like make a note to myself, like this song doesn't work. But I'll find, I usually end up working with, let's say 10 songs that fit for most of my clients. So I don't have to constantly be spending lots of time searching for music. What else? I think that pretty much, yeah, I think again, the pace of it, whether it's a slow song or a fast song, is going to depend, if I'm photographing a family with like toddlers and bigger kids running around, it's going to be different from if it's like an in-home session with a newborn or something like that. But usually the mood of the music itself helps get the pace right with the photos. I just like to make sure that each photo has at least a second or two on there so that my clients are not like, I didn't get to see those 5 photos because they just flew right by.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. In terms of length of the slideshow, are you just doing it to the full length of the song? So maybe about 2 to 5 minutes sort of thing?
Yep. It just depends. Mine are usually like in that 2 to 4 minute range because if I'm delivering that many photos and it's a relatively slowish beat match, then that's the way that it works out. If I were delivering an entire wedding, I probably wouldn't well, no question, I would choose a highlights reel to put together. I would not have someone sit through 500 plus photos in a slideshow. And I think that, you really want to think about, yes, your primary client wants to see all of their photos, but if you do have a super large gallery, giving them that highlights reel that is not only good for them and fun to watch, but also really easy to share where their friends and family are going to watch the whole thing, it's just going to have more power than like a 10-minute slideshow that has 4 songs stuck together. It's too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, in terms of pricing the slideshow, this is a new feature, so you may not have added pricing to the slideshows yet. But what do you think you'll be pricing the slideshows at? Are you going to be including it in your top collection?
So I probably won't be including it because the way that my business model works for me. People usually choose the top collection anyway. I may end up gifting it to my top collection purchasers. I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs. They're like, nobody else is home and they're going crazy and I can't do anything about it. So I'm sorry. But I'm going to go home and I'm going to go downstairs and there will be like a squirrel running around down there.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea what's going on. So I think what I'm probably going to do is put it in the store. And I'm guessing that I'm going to price it. And what I think I would recommend is that you price it somewhere between like the 20 and 25% mark of your client's total spend. So if you're an all-inclusive photographer and you charge $1,000, I would probably say that 250 to 300 mark is probably right. With Simple Sales, if you're familiar with Simple Sales and the course that I teach, I have you go through your expenses really thoroughly and your pricing really thoroughly, and I have formulas for everything. So for that, it would be more like 25 to 30% of your MSA, your minimum sales average. And I think that what that does is it hits at the right place where you are, it's an appropriate value for what they're getting, because sort of like an album where they get access to all or most of their photos, this is ongoing access to all or most of their photos. So you don't want to price it very low because that's going to impact your sales for other things or devalue your potential to sell other items. It is a digital product though. So I think it's, I wouldn't charge quite what I normally charge for like an album. And I think, you want to price it to make it attractive to people because it is a no cost item for you. And it's an amazing tool for marketing. So I want to get back to the fact that you can export it in multiple formats. Yeah. So, there's the like regular horizontal format, there's the vertical format. My plan is to definitely deliver that when someone purchases it, or if I'm gifting it to a client, I am going to be delivering it in all the formats, with the hope that they share it on social media. And I am now, this is new, now that Pic-Time is doing this, I'm including sort of an end slide for all of my slideshows that has my branding on it and my website. So even if someone forgets to tag me, we'll be generous. I am going to, I want to make sure that as they're sharing that out there, if someone's watching it and they're just like, oh, this is so beautiful, I want them to know where to go to hire me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, the watermark and logo feature is really great for that kind of stuff too. So you'll just be gifting that to your clients too?
Well, it's a nice option for gifting. So I sort of feel like if my top collection purchasers don't end up purchasing it, what I may do is just gift the kind of the WebRes slideshow social media version of the slideshow. And again, say, I want you to have this. It adds value to them. It is generous, but it's also probably going to mean that they are going to then go on and share that. And that's good marketing for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of, we'll go ahead and kind of get into the slideshow for marketing option, the part of the show here. What are you planning on doing in terms of sort of repurposing the slideshows that you create in the galleries for your marketing purposes?
Yeah, so I think that the ease of exporting these and putting them on social media makes that a no-brainer. I feel like that becomes, we all know that Instagram loves people to stay on your whatever you're sharing, and a still image just does not hold someone's attention as long as a video. So that's why, Reels are big. Like Instagram promotes Reels all the time. They promote IG Live and IGTV and all those kinds of things. This is like perfect to be put into any and all of those, whether you're putting it in your feed or your stories. I did have a chance. We talked about this yesterday. And I was like, oh, I should put together like a little download. So I did put together a marketing specific freebie with ideas about like how to repurpose this content. But so I think social media is a really good place. And then the other place would be just straight on your website. So, obviously that could be your landing page, could be a portfolio style slideshow. Once upon a time, I think we all had blogs. I had a blog back in the day. I don't keep a blog anymore, but I think that a video or a slideshow that sort of showed someone a deep dive of a particular session or a particular wedding, and maybe just like one paragraph underneath it, but you could link, let's say, your top 6 or 9 favorite sessions or weddings, and then that's going to be good for people who want more of that breadth instead of just a portfolio of a single like image from multiple sessions. This would give them a little bit more depth, and it would give you that SEO juice with the writing underneath. And then let's see. Oh, I always send out after I first get contacted by someone. So I always have my initial contact with a potential client on the phone, and we have a phone call, and then I send them a like a guide that talks about, it's not my prep guide, but it's my before they've booked, like just reiterating what my collections are and all that sort of stuff. I am fully going to integrate a slideshow into that because I do think that it has that more emotional impact, and I feel like that'll be a good place for a little extra push.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even mention it, but in terms of, adding the slideshow to your website, we have this really awesome feature where you can just copy the integration code of the slideshow. And so you can just copy and paste it right onto your blog or your website. And yeah, that slideshow will display right there. I know I'm starting to do that with my photo sessions too. And it's really great because, it always takes so long to make a blog post of your photos. But if you're making the slideshow, really quickly in Pic-Time, your photos are already uploaded into the gallery, so you can really quickly add them to the slideshow, and it makes the slideshow creation really fast. And then it makes the, sharing it on your website also really, really fast, because you can just add that, you can paste that integration code right onto your website as well, which is so fantastic. It's so much easier than spending hours on making a blog post. Are you planning on using, we have the slideshow kind of for the individual photo session. Are you planning on doing anything with the slideshows in terms of just like general marketing or anything like that?
I mean, I think that there are tons of options out there. I do think that that is a great way to set yourself apart. I want to make sure, I always have told people that they get access to a slideshow, but there's a big, sort of well-known truth out there in sales that you have to show it to sell it, right? And so I think that the slideshow that you popped up that you were like, oh, this is on your social media, that's my education site. I also posted it in the stories of my photography site a couple of, like, right when you guys released the slideshow feature. And I got more like DMs and traction from that set of posts. And it was hilarious because I had just like grabbed a whole bunch of photos that I took during, over the course of COVID. Basically, I was like, it may have been a tough year, but there was some beauty in there too. And so like I made a little story about that. And then I made a slideshow, and it was a few minutes long. So, for stories, I used one of those apps where you like slice it up into pieces. And then I just ran it in my stories, and like hundreds of people watched through each one. So that's a lot of, oftentimes you get people like skipping through whatever. It just proved to me that that is the kind of thing where like people aren't used to seeing it. They were turning their sound on, and, I got lots of like crying emojis. And these were people who weren't even in the photos, like they weren't even images of their kids. So to me, that is just like proof positive that that kind of thing has a lot of power. It's not everywhere out there. People are used to seeing beautiful images, but like that little bit of movement and motion really makes a big difference.
Yeah, again, here's I'm sharing my screen really quickly of that slideshow. And yeah, it's so beautiful. I won't click play because I think it might make the sound come on, and who
It'll
knows
be a
what'll
whole
happen then.
thing.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's such a great opportunity. And yeah, that's so fun that so many people were DMing you and things like that. It's totally that impact, that emotional impact of being able to see those images and that the music, and just it's just like such a great opportunity for the clients to really connect with all of their images. So that's so neat. Does anybody have, well, first of all, Annemie, do you have any sort of last minute things that you want to say before we jump into a Q&A?
Nope, we can totally do a Q&A.
Awesome. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat or in the Q&A thing. If anybody has any questions, and also, if you have any questions, you're welcome to email us later on. Again, there will be a replay of this slideshow as well, or of this webinar as well. Yeah, I've got slideshows on the brain here. So you'll be able to watch that later on. You can also hang out on our live chat with our support agents if you have any questions on how to create the slideshow. We've got a quick question from Melanie here. Melanie, if you just go to the Photos tab of any of the projects in your Pic-Time account, you'll be able to create the slideshow right in there. So you can pull the images directly from the gallery, or even upload your own additional photos as well to use for the slideshow. And then the slideshow creator is right in there in that Photos tab. Let's see, RH just asked a question. How do you handle if an image is included in the booking fee? So the client has already received a download, and then you have the 3 packages and the slideshow. Do you also just include that image in the slideshow as well?
So I'm guessing that what they're saying is if it's not separated with just a session fee, but if the session fee includes an image or multiple images.
Mhm,
So people
mhm.
handle that different ways. It's not the way that I teach it, but I do have a few students that do that. In that case, what they generally do is either create a lowest package, which is $0, that includes the number of images that are already included. I don't recommend that, only because if there is a 0 option, people are weighted toward going toward that. I like to make it so that even if it means my slide or my session fee is lower, like you basically split up the session fee, and then they just pay the second half of it when it comes time to choose a collection. And then they're more likely to upgrade to one of the higher collections. But I would include that image in the slideshow, just like, or I would include those images, because presumably you wouldn't know which ones they were going to choose beforehand anyway. That would all be part of the slideshow. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. And also, again, you can add the slideshow as an additional option that they can just purchase later on in the shop too. So that can be another great selling point for you. And then the client is able to get, a beautiful slideshow of more photos. And also, with the watermark feature, if you're worried about them screenshotting or, recording the slideshow or anything like that, you can choose to have the watermark display on the slideshow, both in the gallery and on the downloaded purchased version of the slideshow as well. So you can use that watermark so that they don't screenshot to potentially get additional photos as well. Let's see, we've got a couple other questions here. Yes, Anitra, you can mix vertical and horizontal photos into one slideshow. We've got some layout options that you can choose from so that you can put some vertical photos on display. And it also just depends on which format of the slideshow you choose. So if you want to do one of those vertical slideshows for Instagram, you can put your horizontal images on top of each other so that they all display nice and beautifully as well. Annemie, were you going to say something?
I was sort of trying to scroll through here too. And Melanie had also asked what the name of the app is. Melanie, I don't remember off the top of my head. I did put it in this download. It's like split. I don't know. It has a name that makes sense, but I don't know it off the top of my head. But you know what? Actually, Lauren, we should talk about the giveaway that we're doing, because we forgot to mention that at the beginning.
Yes,
do you want me to jump in and do that while you're looking for questions?
Yep, go for it.
So we are going to be doing a giveaway of, we're calling it the, oh gosh, we came up with some sort of fun name, but it's like the business building, photographer's business building dream kit. That's what it is. So later today on my Instagram, I'm going to do a post with all the giveaway details. It's an Instagram giveaway. You basically just enter to win, but it will be a copy of my course teaching you all about the simple sales system. And if you already own that, I have a backup plan for you and you happen to win. And then a year of the advanced plan for Pic-Time, if I'm remembering correctly. Yes. So it's like $1,100 worth of stuff. It's pretty amazing. And it's like, like to win kind of thing. It's a pretty easy thing, but what we're trying to do, so you can just do the bare minimum and enter that way. But what we're hoping you'll do instead is actually put this to the test, like test drive the slideshow builder, make a slideshow, export it for social media, and put it into your stories. And I would recommend that you take this opportunity to actually do it with some portfolio images, so that you have something that is not only good for a contest entry, and it doesn't need to be like plastered with, words that say I'm entering a contest. I think you have to like tag Pic-Time and me or something like that, just so we can see it. But then that lives on in if you put it into a highlights, or if you put it into your, I'm so sorry. Can you hear the dogs?
Just a little bit, but
good. It's so loud
nice
here. I apologize for my distraction. So then, you can use that, and your clients will see that, and your potential clients will see that. So hopefully this will be one of those things where I think we're giving you like a week to enter. Like spend some time in the next few days, make a slideshow, put it in your social media. You could win all these prizes, or you could just like end up with a couple new clients.
Yes, yeah. So you'll definitely want to enter that giveaway on Instagram. I think it's going to be, and yeah, at the very least, you'll be building your own marketing material, and hopefully you'll get some new clients from it as well. Going back really quickly to some questions. Let's see. Yes, Sarah asked, can you set up that only when buying the premium package they can download the slideshow? So yeah, if we're planning on adding a feature to the Simple Sales System app so that you can add some slideshow download settings as well. So that should be coming out soon. And then also, for right now, the client can use their print credit if they want to be able to purchase that slideshow as well, which is a really nice feature. Shelly asked, can we add text on top of the images in the slideshow other than just the title slide templates? So yes, you can. There's a couple layout options where you can add a little bit of text on top of the photos. And then you have the option to be able to upload additional graphics as well. So you can get, as crazy as you want with designing something really beautiful and creative to add to your slideshows as well. I'm planning on adding a lot of text to my slideshows because I love adding that sort of thing. Maro asked, we mostly do weddings and include the best photos for our client in our package. How can we market that with slideshows? Maro, we actually did a more in-depth webinar on the slideshows last week, which you can watch on our YouTube channel. And we talk about a bunch of marketing opportunities to use the slideshows for weddings and any kind of photography as well. So you'll definitely want to check that out. But for me, I'm planning on adding this as a highlight slideshow for my clients when they first view like their wedding preview. I show maybe like 20 or 30 images from their wedding. If I get really crazy, I try and keep it down to 15, but I can't. I'm very bad at culling photos. So I'll show them, the preview slideshow in their gallery, a day or two after their wedding, and then give them, I'll probably give them the option just to purchase a few different slideshow options. And, I may actually throw in the vertical slideshow in as a freebie because, they'll definitely, for a wedding especially, they'll share that on social media. So that would be really great, sort of free marketing, especially if you add your watermark to it or add your logo to the last slide, as Annemie was suggesting earlier. So, but you'll definitely want to check out that in-depth slideshow creator webinar that we did last week. Let's see some other questions. Let's see. We've got just a few more. Jessica asked, does the Simple Sales System work with longer sessions like family documentary? I have my preview set up so clients can see the whole gallery, but I know that takes away from the incentive to buy. Annemie, do you have any suggestions on that? Will that work with longer sessions?
Yeah, I have a lot of documentary photographer students who either use Simple Sales in its sort of original format. I also back in March released it's module 5. Like the original course that I teach is 4 modules long. Module 5 is specific to long form documentary storytelling type sessions, and then weddings and things like that. So it's sort of similar principles, restructures it a little bit, but if you watch the masterclass that's on my website, I talk more about that.
Awesome. And then Emily asked, I don't really want my clients who only get the basic package to be able to purchase the slideshow because they could potentially screenshot. Is there a way to only have the slideshow purchase available to the clients who purchase the premium package? Not at the moment for right now, Emily, but what you can do as a sort of workaround, what you can do is in the Photos tab of the project, you can actually hide the slideshow so that it's not viewable to the client at all. And then if you wanted, you can make it visible to the client after they purchase that premium package. So once they purchase it, then you can just switch the slideshow to be visible for them in the gallery. And then at that point, they would be able to have the option to purchase it. So you'll definitely be able to get that set up in your Pic-Time account as well. And I think that's kind of all of the questions for right now. Annemie, do you have, let's see, we've got one more question. Annemie, how will you make the last slide with your branding? Are you going to do it through Canva or directly through the Slideshow app?
I would assume I'm going to do it in Canva, but I hadn't even really thought about that. Maybe I will give it a shot and see if one of the title slides would work for that. I was thinking that if I wanted to have my logo and my website and all that sort of stuff on there, it might be easier to just create something branded in Canva and just upload it as though it's like a photo, and then just add it to the slideshow. Plus, I could just make one and use it for all of my different slideshows instead of having to like go in and do a title slide each time. So that's probably the answer.
Exactly. And then this will be the last question that we answer. Anitra asked, I'm wondering how you can make only the slideshow visible without showing the whole gallery too. So Anitra, in terms of the Simple Sales System, when you add the Simple Sales System app to a project, you're able to select which preview scene you want to be visible to the client. So you can, check mark it so that only the slideshow is visible without showing the full gallery. And then after the client purchases one of those 3 packages, then their full gallery unlocks to them and they're able to see all of the images. If you're not using the Simple Sales System, you can also just do that manually through the Photos tab. You can hide scenes from different users, but you're able to do that sort of automatically and automate it with the Simple Sales System. So I think that's about it, Annemie, unless you have any other final finishing remarks that you want to add.
Nope, just come join the giveaway. I'll be posting that later on Instagram at This Can't Be That.
Awesome. Yeah, so definitely check that out. Enter the giveaway. You'll want to tag us in it and Annemie as well, and we'll see who gets the year subscription. So again, this will be available on our YouTube afterwards, so you can watch it later on at any point. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again, Annemie, for joining us. And we'll see you all on the next webinar. So have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, guys. Bye.